Hi guys, welcome back to Monday Mojo. I'm your host, Nikki Fogden-Moore of the Mojo Maker podcast. This will be on IGTV and also check out YouTube, the Vitality Coach TV. It's been a long while between videos. I've been away looking after my family with my dad being unwell, and that has been an incredible time, not only to draw on my own strength and values, but also so much more to learn. And what I do take out of that is the importance of humility, grace, and dignity during these times. I wanted to talk to you specifically today about the power of radical self-belief and why that is so crucial in our current environment landscape when there is so much uncertainty in the world across all things, including finances, friendships, our whole business working landscape, and even just simple things like traveling from A to B. There's a lot of anxiety in this world, and we have another epidemic, and that is overwhelm. So if you haven't already, please grab a copy of How to Stop Overwhelm, Adulting, the Rally of Life. You can use Mojo 30 for 30% off. Link will be in the bio on the vitalitycoach.com.au. But I want to talk to you specifically about some work in this book and a specific chapter around accountability and extreme radical self-belief. Why is it so important to back yourself, have confidence, courage, and insight more than ever than it has been before? To get in the driver's seat of your life and understand that you have the tools and the techniques that can navigate you away from chaos and into calm, and that you have to start trusting your own decisions. More than ever, we're pulled off track from doing that because we're given so much uncertainty and reason to be fearful that's almost paralyzing our population from making clear, conscious decisions, asking questions, and replacing fear with curiosity. Today, I want to give you my 3 tips on how I actually apply radical self-belief, especially lately on a daily basis, to overcome doubt, to overcome the ego, which is always sitting there like a monkey mind, keeping you awake at night, preventing you from taking action, telling you you're not good enough, it's not good enough, all those things, and the tools that it takes on a daily basis to show up for yourself no matter what you're afraid of in life. So let's start with number 1. How do we have radical self-belief when we feel that the odds are against us and the past has shown that we constantly may make mistakes, or we've failed before, or the unknown is a lack of evidence that we don't know what's going to happen? You have to back yourself, and that means understanding radical awareness, knowing that your ego is not your amigo. And I think it's really important to understand that you can never actually get rid of your ego, right? So it's part of who you are. Your ego is that little subconscious voice that's nitpicking away at everything, constantly questions, it sends doubt, shame, blame, guilt, fear, all those things fast and peppered into your brain, and it can often lead you into states of anxiety. It can prevent you from moving into something that's good for you and for your highest good, because it can keep you stuck in the walls of discomfort with the perceived notion that it's looking after you. So let me just tell you something. Your limiting beliefs, whether they're from inner childhood or programming or however they got there, if you want to read Eckhart Tolle, The New Earth, or Michael Singer's The Untethered Soul, they're 2 great books to listen to and learn from around understanding our inner self versus our ego, how to discern the difference between those 2 things, and who to listen to. So number 1 for radical self-belief is you have to listen to self, and you can be aware of your ego, but move it aside like the Matrix, and don't pay it any attention or give it any weight to your decision making. The way you do that is yourself is that quiet inner knowing voice. It's the almost inaudible thing that's just a gut feeling, and it's quite often just 1 or 2 words, a yes or a no, a name, a place, a feeling, a thought. It's an instant thing. It doesn't carry a lot of frantic energy with it. It's calm, it's grounded, and it's centered. That's when you know you're making a conscious, grounded decision. The fastest way to figure that out is to think about a question that you want to ask, is to put 2 feet on the ground. Make sure you've got nothing crossed, no arms, legs, whatever. Ask the question, close your eyes, and listen to the first answer that comes up after a deep breath. Then usually what happens is your brain will kick in and your ego will start going, but, or this, will start challenging you on that, and it will take you off course from your inner GPS. The bit that puts you in the driver's seat to knowing, myself really wants this. I trust and know that that inner guidance is the right thing to do. So be aware that yourself, that radical awareness of self, is the quiet, knowing, grounded voice. The monkey mind, the over chatter, the overthinking, the busyness, that's usually our ego trying to keep us away from what could potentially be our greatest thing ever, our highest serving purpose, because it wants to keep us stuck in the walls of discomfort. So number one for radical self-belief is understanding the difference between ego and self. Once again, have a listen to New Earth by Eckhart Tolle, or also The Untethered Soul by Michael Singer, 2 great books. All of this, by the way, is in this book as well, under the checkpoint 3, accountability. The next thing I want to talk to you about is when I'm aware of that little monkey mind or my ego, which is step 1. Step 2 is I have a radical accountability. So that means I have to be really aware of what conversations I'm having with myself, what actions am I taking through the day, what words am I using, how am I showing up for myself, how am I showing up for others, and am I following through on what I really want? Normally, if we don't have radical self-belief, we so easily self-sabotage. You know, Daryl the doubter comes in, or Debbie the downer, or whatever you want to say, comes in, and that takes you away from what's truly important in your day, from your priorities, from your responsibilities, and from showing up for yourself to make sure you're putting one foot in front of the other to ensure that what you truly want, what you truly desire, and how you want your life to be actually happens. That takes an absolute commitment to self-discipline, to thinking with a positive mental attitude, and to actively changing your thoughts and actions at any given moment when you start to feel yourself go off track. Let me repeat that. Radical accountability means actively changing your thoughts and your actions to put yourself back in the driver's seat when you feel yourself going off track. You can't use excuses, you can't blame others, and you can't shame yourself into not doing that. It's like, I really believe in this, I really want this, I really believe in myself. I have to show up time and time again throughout the day and move through that discomfort and stand up for myself. That conversation that you have to have is the one with you more than anyone else. So doing that radical accountability with self. Are my actions, are my words, and are my thoughts aligning with what I truly want and who I truly want to be in the life that I want to live? The third thing is consistency. If you've read any of my books, or if you've listened to any of my shows on the channel, have a check out of The Leap of Faith, Fall or Fly. I talk to you about an analogy that I often use on stage, which is when a whole group of Buddhist monks go through the program and they get to the certain stage, they don't rush out with a certificate and go to the pub and celebrate and then that's it. It's a lifelong journey, showing up with purpose, passion, and the art of really being present. So the art of the power of now. That takes an absolute self-discipline. It takes a daily focus and consistency, but it's not a chore, right? It's an absolute privilege. So if you can understand the process of moving through emotional intelligence, spiritual, physical, and emotional integrity, you could actually start working on that yourself on a consistent basis to make that a priority in your life. That means even simple things such as watering plants, tending to the garden, making sure that you get up early, the sense of self-discipline, making your bed before you get up, getting your winning weeks organized, knowing who you're going to speak to during the day, ensuring you're not ignoring your finances, looking after your health and well-being, being aware of what you're feeding your body, mind, and soul. They're all really, really important things to do on a consistent basis. So that means no hope projects, no winging it, no I'm putting up a big mood board and then going back to autopilot and doing what's super easy and super comfortable and avoiding any sense of responsibility. The third thing for radical self-belief, showing up consistently for yourself on a daily basis with purpose. And that's how you can start to shift your coordinates. If you just do things and you like binge exercising, you won't get results. So binge positive thinking doesn't work either. Binge positive actions, they don't work either. It is a true sense of discipline, a radical sense of self-belief, a defiance from your inner programming to go, I believe in this so much that I'm going to commit to show up for myself. I believe in this so much that no matter what has happened until this point, till this line in the sand, until this day that I've watched this video, until this point that I know that I really matter, I'm going to show up for myself. I'm going to start making changes on a daily and minute by minute basis that reflect that in my actions, my thoughts, and the words that I use. Once you start to do that, you start to shift the needle and shift the perspective and shift your own gears from wishing and hoping to actually practicing, doing, having, and being. So you go from wishing and hoping to practicing, doing, having, and being that very person, bringing in that success. We all know the law of attraction. It works by actually feeling that you've already achieved those things. You have to actually be the person that you always admire. If you want a great relationship, if you want a great relationship with money, you have to invest in those areas. You have to show up in those areas. You have to pay attention to those areas and give them positive energy and make sure that you're contributing to deposits into that area rather than avoiding them and thinking they're never going to happen. Then that's exactly what will portrayal. So a little analogy about that. The universe doesn't know if you're watering weeds or plants. It just knows what point you're facing most of the time. So if you're always complaining about what you don't have, you're just going to get more of that, right? It's very, very important for radical self-belief to first of all align with what you truly want, to follow through, to be consciously aware that your ego is not your amigo. You can listen to that on the podcast. And that you must show up for yourself on a consistent basis every day with purpose. All the successful people and the people that are happy do so because they make a choice to be that way. So that is absolutely up to you. As you watch this video, you have to make a choice. How do I want to be? How do I want my life to be? How do I want that self-belief that I see in others so much? You start doing it for yourself. And on a last note, it doesn't matter what tools are out there, what accountability apps, what network groups you go to, what programs you sign up for. The most important asset that you have is yourself. You're the one that has to do the work. You're the one that has to take on board this information and apply it. And therein lies your greatest mastering of your own project, which is Project You. And when you can do that, when you can adult the rally of life, you can shift yourself from overwhelm to informed, conscious decision making, which gives you the ability to work on your emotional, your physical, your spiritual, and your intellectual intelligence. Amazing things we've got access to if we take the time to slow our minds down, listen to ourself rather than our ego, be accountable for how we act, speak, and think, and then consistently practice that on a day-by-day basis. I hope those 3 tools help you navigate your way from anxiety to a sense of purpose and privilege, and realize that you're far more powerful than you've ever given yourself credit for, but you need to show up for yourself. You need to realize that you're worth it, and you need to put the time and energy into cultivating the positive aspects of life that you want to grow and nourish and cherish for your future and for now. And all that takes is a little shift in coordinates to make sure that you're in the driver's seat of life. So guys, I hope this helped. A little IGTV video, a little express session podcast. It's been a long time since I've been on. Thank you for your patience. Don't forget you can use code MOJO30 on my website for copies of Adulting, The Rally of Life, and Fitpreneur. The full color versions there as well with all the models and the worksheets. If you'd like any more information, please let me know. I hope this has given you a little bit of a tactical tool to stop thinking and start doing, to stop wishing and to start having, and to stop hoping, and to start really being that person that you want to be. So spend more time looking within, practicing what you want to have, and make sure that you have radical self-belief. I'm Nikki Fogden-Moore. This is the Mojo Maker Show. And until next time, you stay healthy, wealthy, and wise. And thanks for tuning in.